All right, what's going on? It's a Friday. I will not be drinking today, tonight, maybe even tomorrow, because I saved that day for yesterday, which was the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft. And I got hammered and watched the 49ers take a defensive lineman for the eighth year in a row, I think, something like that. So it's been about, 8 years. We've been either taking a defensive lineman, and I think outside of that, we maybe took an O lineman and Pearsall last year. And everything else has been just D lineman. And I watched Shedeur Sanders fall out of the first round, which was just insane. The reason I'm wearing these glasses is because I look like Quagmire when he got bit by that West African bug in Family Guy, and I can't see. So if I took my glasses off right now, I'd probably get demonetized. But yeah, it was an eventful day yesterday. And, I had fun. I told myself that this was going to be my day to drink for the week. And who knows? Who knows? Maybe Thursday will become my day, my annual, my weekly day, my day. I went to MetLife for the draft party, which is always a great experience. Shout out to my boy Dom, always supplying with the tickets. They're free, but he always takes care of it. And, we always have a good time. I've been doing it maybe since I was 13, going to MetLife for the draft party. It's always like a lot of people. Most people like go there that go there are pretty much there to just get fucked up. And, which is always, valid. Yeah, I got free Dunkin'. The pistachio flavor's probably my new favorite. That was a great addition. They gave us, everyone got a $5 gift card. Prices for alcohol over there are obviously like just through the roof, but I mean, what are you going to do? I paid $18 for a high noon, and I didn't even get to finish it because we had to go to the locker room. But what else? Oh yeah, you're on the field. The on-field access is always cool. Russell Wilson was there. They were saying moonball, some guy, I don't know who it was. He had to have been on Molly or something. I don't know, maybe too much allergy medicine, but his voice was going. I mean, his voice was not there anymore, and he was screaming into the mic. I can only imagine how long he was doing that. And he was just saying just bullshit. I mean, there's just the worst thing when people get a microphone and they're at like events like that and they're not really like, it's not like that serious. You know what I'm saying? Like they're trying to get like the crowd hyped and they have these like starting a chant and like nobody's saying anything. And it's just, that's the worst. When you get like something like that, when the event isn't really that, nobody really is there for anything but to drink and to watch their team potentially pick a bust. It's like, nobody's going to listen to what you have to say. So Russell Wilson was up on the stage and he was just probably, I don't remember what he was saying. He was probably just saying Big Blue over and over again, or G-Men, or Giants Country. But he is going to be finding himself on the Giant bench because that motherfucker just got replaced by Jackson Dart. Jackson fucking Dart. That guy's a stud. Apparently he cheated on his girl. Not lit, bro. That's fucked. But he's my hometown QB now, so I gotta cut him some slack. Maybe he can, be the Daniel Jones that, Daniel Jones could never be. And what is it about the Giants getting white quarterbacks? Seriously, I'm not even just saying this. It's an honest question. You ever sit back and think about that for a second? The Giants have... Fuck you. Oh, fuck yourself. I hate this shit. I mean, why? Why do the Giants, they always just seem to just forget that, black people exist at the quarterback position? A starting quarterback, to be more specific. You had Shedeur right there. I can't believe, listen, I'm gonna keep it real. I've said this multiple times. I'm not a big fan of Shador. The whole media thing, the whole like thing with his dad, it's just like it's just a recipe for disaster. I don't care what anybody says. Prime has done his thing. He's just in it for his son. I get it, but dude, you gotta understand, like, your son he's fucked. That happening to him is bad. I mean, it's just like everything that you thought it was gonna be, it ain't gonna be that. So we'll see where he lands. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but they picked Dart over him, so they definitely liked. I mean, his draft stock was rising, Jackson Dart's, and yeah, it's interesting to see. He's like basically another Drew Lock, but just probably better. So I mean, hopefully they get Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart. So we'll see. Russell Wilson, that dude ain't gonna be doing nothing but saying, let's ride the bench. Yeah, those events are always cool. You get to tour the locker room. You know, we saw Braylon Allen. We saw Jeremy Ruckert. Big motherfuckers, dude. They're huge. You don't really expect them to be that big. Like, they're listed at like 6 foot, 6'1". Braylon Allen's listed at like 6'1". Dude, that guy's like at least 6'3". At least. He's got to be. There's just no, like, he's bigger than like 6 foot, 6'1". And it was so nice out too. Usually it really isn't that nice in April. The past few years that I remember, it's been like raining and just it's been cold, like legitimately cold. But that day yesterday was just beautiful. It was like 80 degrees, just perfect weather, perfect. Like, it's never been that nice ever since I've been going to the draft parties. So that was great. Had a great time. Walked to the American Dream Mall. That just juggernaut of a mall. I don't even know what you want to call it. I'm eating. We go to a place called the Yard House in the American Dream Mall. And if you've never been to the American Dream Mall, don't go. Just don't fucking go. Just please, just don't even. Unless you're, a child and you want to like play mini golf or something and, ride like a roller coaster, just stay the fuck away from it. I mean, that place is fucking awful. I'm usually not like pessimistic about just everyday life things like that. Like, it's just a mall. Like, who gives a fuck? But that place, I would not go there if I didn't have to. And usually I only go there with my friends once every 6 months. So yeah, but I mean, I'm eating at the Yard House. I've got my McCaffrey jersey on, drunk as fuck, sitting there. I can't even breathe. Like, I'm telling you, dude, when I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm struggling to even talk because I can't breathe. And every time that I get like this, I have a deviated septum. I don't know if that's what they call it, but one side of my nose is like kind of clogged up more because of there's just something, I don't know how to explain it, but I can't like really breathe out of one nostril properly. So there is like irritation that especially in a time like that, like this time of year, where my nose will bleed like every other day, and it sucks, and it only happens this time of year. So I'm like trying to sit there and like be normal, and I have these glasses on, and I'm just like, it helps a little bit because nobody's seeing me go like squint my eyes and like try not to sneeze every 5 seconds. And I'm like trying to keep my composure, and I just couldn't do it. And I look to my right, and there's a skiing rink, like an indoor skiing rink with a huge glass window right next to me, and I didn't even notice it. It's like, how the fuck do you even come up with? I mean, the snow looked like the cheese, like from the Drake and Josh movie, the Christmas movie, where he was putting cheese through the wood chipper, and everyone thought it was snow. That's what it looked like. 10 years of just building it, and something happened. They didn't have the money for it or something like that, and they couldn't build it for like years, and it was just sitting there, and everyone was like, I wonder what this mall is going to look like, the greatest mall of all time. And I'm going to just say this. Bigger and more doesn't always mean better. In fact, it probably means the exact opposite. And in this case, it couldn't be further from the truth when I'm talking about bigger and better. bigger being better and more being better. Couldn't be further from the truth. It's just so, it's weird to me. It's like, I wonder what is really going to happen with that place. It's so big, and it's so like that area, this area in general is already just so overcrowded and just overpopulated. And there's just apartment buildings being made every other week. And it just seems like it's just going to become like another New York. It's insane. And I just don't know what they're going to do with that mall. Like it's weird to think that they went through all that, all those years building it, all the money, all the celebrities that have been there, everything, it's just a nuisance. It's just a big cancer. I look at it and I'm like, this is just the ugliest thing to ever graze New Jersey, you know, and that's saying a lot considering we've had like, you know, Snooki and Hurricane Sandy and shit like that. I will say the one place that I did go to that was probably hands down one of the best restaurants that I've been at, that I've visited. It was called House of Q inside the American Dream Mall. And it's just barbecue food. You know, you can get like a big plate of just a whole bunch of ribs, brisket, chicken. You get mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, chili. It's amazing. It is so good. The meat falls right off the bone. The chicken's juicy. The sauces are amazing. The mac and cheese, everything is great. The first time I went there, we damn near got everything that you can get. And it was great. I recommend if it's a chain and if there's one near you, I really don't know much about it, but if you're ever in the American Dream Mall, for whatever reason, God knows I don't know why you're in there, but if you ever are, do yourself a favor. Don't eat that day. Or even if you are full, go to the House of Q. Try it out. You'll love it. It's great. Some of the best food I've ever had. Barbecue food, definitely top. And I don't really hit many of those like restaurants. Like I don't go to a Cubby's. Like you know what I mean? I don't eat barbecue. Like that's not like a regular thing that I think about, but that I would eat there consistently if I had the chance. I'm getting out of that phase of being, you know, a kid. I'm entering my years of growth, and we'll see where it goes, man. Living in the present moment is something that I try and do, and that usually only happens when I'm enjoying myself and having fun. But the day to day, I'm usually always thinking about the next step, this and that, and that's not always a good thing. I mean, it usually isn't. So I'm always thinking about. But with that, by default, I am just thinking about my future constantly. And that is a good thing. And I'm glad that I have that, because I think without that, if you don't see, I'm somebody that takes life as it comes at me, because I just have the utmost confidence that whatever needs to get done, I will get it done. And I don't need to worry about, you know, anything else. Like take life as it comes at you kind of attitude is what I've been ingrained with. And, but I also, like I said, I think about my future constantly. And it's usually always good things. Obviously, why would you think, you know, that you're going to be in jail or something? And I always think this for some reason. I always say in my early 30s, I'm probably going to be in my prime in terms of like just fitness and, finance and all that, you know, just all the lifestyle, the wellness kind of area of life. And I always hear people say like, oh, these years, like your high school, college, all this, your 20s, it's like the best years of your life. Dude, if I refer to these days as the best days of my life, what did that guy say in Dazed and Confused? Shoot me. If I refer to these days as the best days of my life, remind me to kill myself. And that's real as fuck. I mean, nobody should be stuck in high school or college when they're 55 years old. And I know some people like that. Seriously, I'm not kidding. I know a lot of people, and they're always middle-aged, 50, not old. They're like 50 to like 60, and they will tell you about all the girls that they hooked up with, all the trips that they went on with their boys, all the stuff that they did academically, sports-wise, and it's like coming from a place coming from the ego, obviously, and it's just like them talking about themselves because they're stuck in that in that past, in that prime, and that was their prime, and it's boring, and it's pathetic almost, and it's sad. You should not look back at 15 to 25 and be like, oh yeah, man, I would do anything and go back to those days. Yes, you could be nostalgic. Yes, you can have memories. Yes, you can enjoy those times. And yes, you can look back and have, fond memories about those times, but don't ever refer to those years as the best years of your life, because that means everything outside of high school and college did not exceed that. And for it to not exceed that means that you did very little in terms of just life goals outside of work. Just outside of your everyday, like going to work, showing up on time, and getting done what needs to be done. You probably lacked motivation and discipline for your fitness goals, for your traveling, just experience, creation. Those can't be the best years of your life. And I don't want that to be the best years of my life either. And they weren't even like close to being great years, to be honest, especially in high school. It wasn't fun. I mean, I had no idea what it was like. For the first time, I had to be not like responsible, but I had to feel, for the first time in my life, I had to feel not so good about where I was. And that was a hard thing to do. I had a lot of trial and error. I had a lot of just back and forth ups and downs of just learning how to be a human being and interact with people and just be responsible for myself and understand the concept of life. It was just not like that from 0 to 13 years old. I had no idea that that's what it was like, just outside of just being a for real kid in middle school. Like when I was in high school, I did not know what I wanted to do, and that was the only thing that was on my mind, and it was unhealthy, and it caused me to not experience the things that I probably should have tried to experience. I did not want to do anything. And that caused me to learn the hard way with a lot of things. So I think that if you're looking, and even if you had the high school life where you were, top of your class, you went to parties all the time, like that's great. Like that's what it's for. Have fun. Like I had my share of fun, obviously. Like I had a lot of great friends, people that I still talk to this day, from football, from just hometown friends that I made. And it wasn't like it was all bad. I have a lot of great memories from that time, but I mean, nothing. It's for like the years like this where you just have to learn to fuck up. You have to do things, mess up a bunch of times. You're never going to get it right. You're never going to know. You have to build yourself up. These are the years where you are going to go through trial and error. This is what those years are for. They're not for wasting it away and not learning anything about yourself and looking back and saying, oh yeah, man, I love those times where I was, with all these chicks and having the time of my life going to, Punta Cana and Bali and shit like that. It's like, I'm not saying don't do those things. You're going to do those things. Everyone does them. It's not bad, but you can't, the concept of these years or those years being the best is just not true. It's bullshit. Because you learn, if you allow yourself to, you learn so much more about yourself. You go through so much more. You experience so much more. You find a new gratitude for your life as you get older, because you're getting older and you realize that time is limited. And you hear people say this, but they don't really understand. Like they don't really tell you what that really means. That means that you are not guaranteed the next day. You can seriously die tomorrow. People say that and they're like, oh yeah, whatever. But you actually can. Think about that for a second. You have to be so aware of that you almost lose all hope, because in a sense that you're going to be forgotten one day and nothing really matters, but lose all fear in the sense that you take life by the balls and you fucking run with it and you do what you want to do with whatever that may be. Whatever your passion is, whatever you're good at, whatever you want to experience, whatever you want to learn about yourself, however you want to build yourself up. Those are the things that you should be looking at with tunnel vision. It is, especially if you're my age, like I'm saying, I'm 22 years old. And that's all I think about every day. I think about being in great shape. I think about, having success with my passions, making money, having great experiences with my friends, keeping them close, keeping my family close. Those are the most important things. And if you're able to slowly but surely, if you can't do it 110% every day, just be 1% better. And it's going to fluctuate. Okay. You're going to have the days where you just feel like shit. And then you're going to have the days where you just feel great about your life. But it's always important in your mind to keep it steady. Never too high, never too low. You have to regulate yourself. And that's something that, especially as a younger person, that I struggled with. And, everything seemed like so dramatic and everything was so, I felt like I needed to get it done there. And if I didn't do this, I would be, set back so many days, and I would be so scared to mess up a little bit. And now as I grow up and I get older, I start to just care less, because I know that when you try so hard to get everything right, you get everything wrong. And this is what I want. And this is what you have to understand, and what I need to understand for myself as well, is I joke a lot, and I'm never serious about a lot of the things that I say. I have fun. I say I'm a degenerate, I'm a sick fuck, I'm insane. And, those things are, somewhat true, because, you're young, you're going to do stupid stuff. And, I'm cool with that. I don't care. I really don't. It's whatever. I'm going to look like an idiot sometimes. But, I could be very out of touch and not be aware of it, just in day-to-day life and conversation. But I also feel like a lot of the times when I'm alone by myself and I reflect, I find myself to be very deep in thought and a lot smarter than I give myself credit for. And I think I have a lot of great things to share. And I think that's the case with a lot of people. If you really, really wanted to talk to somebody about their deepest thoughts, their insecurities, their life experience, you would look at them totally different. Totally different. It would impact you, and you'd feel a lot closer. You'd feel a lot more connected, a lot less scared of being in conversation, because you always just think that you have, you need to get this done now, or, you don't have time, or you don't want to waste anyone's time, or why would they want to speak to you? But that truly is just, it's like a death sentence to just mundane, boring shit that you have, just a terrible life of being disconnected and small talk and just feeling just in a shell. And I don't recommend that. Talk to people, learn something, even if someone's rambling and you don't really care about what they have to say. Just say, yeah. Just say, cool, I understand. Oh, really? Let them keep going. People do that to me all the time. I hear I'm a great listener all the time. And I'm telling you, 50% of the time, it is not because I actually want to hear what they're saying. But even in that, I still allow people to speak, because I genuinely never know what they're going to say, what I might learn, if they might make me laugh about something, if they might have a connection with me that I didn't know. It's a good thing to listen more than you speak. I think something that really bothers me, that I see a lot, is people will say we should do this, or man, I think I want to do this, or I want to try and see what this is like, this field is like, or I want to get into painting. I want to get into skateboarding, public speaking. And it's but I got this going on, and I want, it takes a lot, and it's we'll see, and this and that. And it's just why? Why are you like that? Why do you doubt yourself so much? Not even doubt yourself, but just push it off. And that is what it comes back to, thinking that you have more time. And that's always going to be the case for a lot of people. It's been the case for me so many times. I'm guilty of it, not setting myself apart from this. When I want to do something, I see a vision for it, I do it. I don't think maybe, or, okay, like I'll try it, or that. If you don't want to do it, if you're unsure, then you shouldn't, like, don't do it. Like, or not don't do it, but change your attitude. But if you really don't think that you would like it, or don't even entertain the idea, because you're gonna disappoint yourself. Like, there's something that you want, there's something that you really like doing, there's something that you want to try. Don't be like maybe about it. Like, go do it. Like you're limiting yourself for no reason. I think people are so scared of just rejection, in a sense where any sort of like obstacle, any sort of challenge, any sort of no is the scariest thing to people. And I'll tell you something right now. To me, it's the least scary thing, because I say this all the time. With stuff that I really want to do, I try. And if I can't fully see it through, or something happens and it doesn't go exactly the way I planned, the fulfillment of knowing I tried it makes it so much better. Think very, very outside to your normal everyday routine for a few days, a week. Just see where it takes you. See what you can create out of your life. Like, everyone is so afraid of just any sort of no, any sort of, like I said, challenge, obstacle. They're so afraid of rejection, they reject themselves every day. There's nothing worse than rejecting yourself, and that's what people do. Before you can even like walk up to that girl, before you can even like take that job opportunity, before you could even start that podcast or YouTube channel, you're just like, oh, I'll get to it another day. Or, oh no, that person's out of my league. Or, oh no, this would never work because of this, that, and the third. And it's like, you're not even like, forget even trying. You're not even like taking the first step to even seeing if it's possible. Like, how could you ever know anything about yourself, about what you're made of? Like, I said it once, I'll say it again. People are so scared of rejection, they reject themselves every day. And I'm saying this because I know what it's like. I have tried so many different things. And listen, I know I have not tried everything. By no means am I experienced in life in certain ways. I've never woken up at 5 o'clock and worked a 12-hour shift on some like construction site. I get it. I have not been outside of the country and seen how people lived differently to me. I understand that, like, those things are just concepts that I am unaware of as of right now in my life. And maybe I will experience them. And I have not had a super tragic thing happen to me, to where my life is just completely shifted. I have not lost the house. I have not crashed the car. I have not, I have not almost lost my life. There are just certain things that, good or bad, that I know that I have not experienced, and I'm speaking from a very limited standpoint. But the concept is what I'm getting at. Like, I'm saying this because I know what it's like to feel like every day you're living life for someone else. You're not fulfilling what you really want to do. You're lost. You hate your life. I know what it's like to wake up and not want to get out of bed. I know what it's like to feel like you're inadequate. I know I have been there as a child growing up. I know what it's like to feel on top of the world and feel like everyone understands you and you're great and you're doing these great things and people admire you and you're full of life. I have started that YouTube channel. I have thought about business ideas. I have connected with people trying to create things for themselves. I have talked to people that are networking and trying to, grow their business. I've started that vlog channel. I've started that podcast. I have started that business idea and went through it for 5 years through trial and error, building it up day and night, day in, day out, trying to figure out what works. And I have almost quit multiple times, and I have quit and came back multiple times. But that is the thing. You just can't stop. You don't stop. No matter how many times you fail or you quit or you get back or you just keep going. And eventually you understand that was the success. The fact that you did not stop. Like, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. And yes, even though that everybody has experienced life differently, they have had more hardships, they've had more significant hardships, or, you know, they've been through more, or they have seen more, they've dated more, they've made more money, they've, you know, traveled more, whatever the case may be. Whoever you are, whatever you're comparing yourself to, you know, everyone experiences life differently, obviously. And everyone has a story of their own in the way that they have been through hard times, been through good and bad, built themselves up, tore themselves down, learned things about themselves. It's all came differently from different people, from different experiences. But the concept still stays the same. So yes, I understand I'm only 22 and I have years ahead of me to where I don't know what it's going to look like. And I have a lot to learn. I am going to learn things that I didn't know that I have to do in my life. I get that. But I'm just saying, for what I am right now, for what I've been through right now, for what I've learned, it's been so helpful. And I would not go back and change anything about myself. And that's such a valuable thing to have. I see people who I get that vibe from them with either it's their attitude, the way they speak, the way they carry themselves, if they even say it, that they're not happy with who they are right now. There's people who are old as shit, who I can see that they're cynical, who I can see that they wish that they can go back and do something different, who I see that they wish that they know that they did not live life the way that they wanted to. And every single day, I remind myself and I make sure that I'm as aligned with my values and my goals as I can be. And it's not always pretty, it doesn't always look great, but I make sure to at least try. And that's a great thing. I'm happy that that is what I do. There's fulfillment in the everyday for me. And I hope that people can get to that, because I know right now that this isn't even close to the best years. I can see it right now, my future, enjoying myself, understanding myself better, finding better ways to use my time, you know, finding new things that I enjoy, meeting new people. Like I said, it's all going to happen. You're going to be able to experience that. That's the growth that you should be looking forward to. And every day you have to put yourself on that pathway forward to get those great experiences. And, you know, this might sound like a little, and I know I'm like going off, I'm ranting. I just don't really care. Okay. I don't really care. Like this is something that I just really think about a lot. And even if I'm not really making a whole lot of sense, whatever, this is just my words, but like, this is going to sound arrogant. This is an interesting thing that I've thought about and that I'm learning more and more and that I'm feeling more and more. I feel like the less you care about an outcome, about what people say or think, about how something makes you look. Now that varies, obviously. Don't go shoot a bird or something, obviously, or try and hurt an animal. That's obviously something that will make you look bad, right? You don't want to do that. I mean, I find the less that you care, the more laid back you are, the more internally confident that you are, that you say what you believe and you take action towards it. Like, that is what confidence is. The more internally confident you are, the less you have to prove, the less you care, the less reactive you are, and the more you know that you have yourself. I find that you are able to do right by other people. It comes naturally. Because I feel like a lot of the times when people are nice or they seem like they're good and they're upstanding and all this bullshit, it's really because they're afraid of making themselves look bad or challenging someone's beliefs or saying no or disappointing or someone not liking them. And it's all like a facade. And it's normal to have that happen to you every now and then. But it's in the day-to-day where you're so like, you don't stand up and you don't talk, you don't project, you don't believe what you're saying, you don't walk with purpose. You're just like existing. The more and more it becomes easy to live life the wrong way, to make excuses for yourself, to not do the right thing, to treat people poorly, to be dismissive, and it's like, I find that the more arrogant I think some people are, even like rude sometimes, when you're just straight up, you tell people to fuck off and how you feel, those people also know how to do the right thing the best way. Like, they don't lose their shit, on a waiter when they forget their water, or when they get delivered a package and it's the wrong one, or they're, something gets, plans get canceled, or like, someone scratches their car or something, and they control themselves, and they have an understanding that that doesn't affect their internal. So therefore they're able to project the best version of themselves onto the world, which then leads them to doing good. You see what I'm trying to say? It's kind of hard to explain for me right now. I'm not doing the best job, but if you can kind of understand where I'm going with this, it's like, I'm basically saying the more laid back you are, the more you let go, the easier life comes to you. And I feel like the kinder you get, the more understanding you get, the more forgiving you are, the more empathetic you get, the more serious you take yourself, the more motivated you are, the more disciplined you are. All of that comes from the internal, and the letting go, and the confidence, and the walk and talk the talk. So yeah, this took a turn. I'm really like going off right now, but I mean, it's just something, something that's fresh in my mind that I want to speak about. And I think it's important. So, if you're watching this and you got something out of that, then good. So yeah, we're going to keep it rolling with this. Thanks for watching. I'm from New Jersey. Tony Soprano, your sister's ass, the boardwalk, Taylor ham, egg, and cheese. See you in the next vid. Peace.